welcome again. And last time on our little D&D game, our fair adventurers were making their grand escape from the clutches of some very wicked slavers. They were visited while they were in their cells. Actually, they were recaptured a second time after their first escape attempt. They were visited by a curious-looking wizard-like character and his bodyguard, who put their escape attempts down right now. Rob, if you could just
shut that door.
Shut that screaming children.
The blood-curdling screams is just some neighborhood kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just our background music.
Watch out.
Sorry, Cat. Time for you to go downstairs. Love you, Ezio. Anyhow, this curious looking wizard-like character had some very strange markings and tattoos on his face and all over him. His bodyguard was quite hefty. You guys made your escape. You made not a clean escape. You had to fight some more orcs.
Then we got captured a second time. We were almost brought back into the castle, and then he showed up to save the day.
That's when you guys were outside. Yeah. You guys were outside fighting orcs and ogres.
In which case, I ran away from the ogre, and he missed an opportunity of attack. I didn't say anything because he completely missed an ogre.
Fair enough.
Basically one-shotting Ren Buckley.
Well, the ogre clearly did not pass his perception check.
There you go.
And now that you brought it up, it won't come back to haunt you tonight at all.
No.
No.
Not
It literally
even close.
won't. It literally won't.
See, these are things we never
What's
mention.
the old saying? When the DM smiles, you know it's already too late.
When the player smiles, the DM has to think fast and
Anyway.
completely write up a story in his head in 3 seconds.
I don't think that's on a t-shirt. I know his is though.
Yeah.
It's on my t-shirt.
Wow, and how well is it selling?
I just got a Sharpie and write on one of my shirts.
Speaking to t-shirts and other things as such, there's not a definitive plan in place, but there are plans to have Take 20 D&D t-shirts, and we do have an idea for a second show, D&D show, but it will be, we don't know if it'll be Dungeons and Dragons or if it'll be StarCraft, or we're not sure. But those plans are kind of on the stove. We're looking at turning up the heat on some of those plans. Anyway, you guys managed your escape with the help of Rangrim, a rogue named Pluto Nash, and Quillian, who came in at the right time and cast some spells and managed to help you guys escape.
I'm gonna write it like somebody who doesn't have like.
Anyhow,
It should be Pluto Mars.
Bruno Mars?
Pluto Mars.
There you go.
It's like somebody who doesn't quite know.
Could you lay with your arm across the table too, for us? Like he does.
Away from the camera.
Yeah, just like that. Could you get your phone to play on that?
Oh, man, it's like he's here with us.
That's our Brendan. He is total chaos. We love you, Brendan. There you go.
At least he has the decency to...
His phone's on silent when he's playing his video games.
Yeah, it's at least on.
I just won $30.
There you go.
UX.
UX?
Blackjack.
So, anyhow, that's where we are. We're heading back to Waterdeep.
Okay.
Rangrim, do you have a minute?
Yep.
You guys you guys had horses, right?
Yep.
How many horses did you have? Could you carry the whole party?
We had 3 horses.
Yeah. Because we were bringing I don't know what changed because I wasn't here last time, but there was mercenary that was coming with us, and we had 3 horses, did we not?
The mercenary was Pluto.
Yeah, Pluto was
Oh,
the
right.
mercenary. He had a horse.
There were
And
3
he had
horses.
a horse. You had your summoned steed, right?
No, we figured
No.
out we'd just take my horse.
Oh,
I
okay.
can summon my
So
steed.
you have a horse, and I summoned my steed.
Okay.
I mean,
So we have
he
2
died
real
in
horses.
combat, but
And how many characters? You have Nariel.
Ren,
5. Oh wait, Bors. Who's playing Bor?
Boar's gone.
we don't know where Bor is.
Okay, then there's you're playing 2, I'm playing 1. So there's 5
Bor was sold,
of us.
just like these guys were. Just
Right, that's right.
We weren't sold yet.
And there's
yeah,
5
you
of
guys
us,
were sold.
and then our 2.
You weren't sold the
the
second
2
time.
people we found as well. So there's a total of 7 of us.
Yeah.
3. Because they
people.
found Carol on
I
the road.
thought they left Carol behind.
I thought Carol went and got help in Neverwinter.
We
I
were
thought
to help. But I
She
thought
went
I-
down the road, and these guys passed her. They told her to stay at the end of the road to stay safe.
Oh, okay.
That
So
they'd
we
be
have
back.
what? 8 people.
8 of us, yeah, and 3 horses.
Three
And I
horses.
can summon a 4th, but I can't share it.
Okay.
You can summon a 4th. but
Well,
you
Carol
can't share
and
it.
Pluto.
It says only myself or another person can ride it,
Oh, okay.
so it's a singular.
So we have 4 horses.
You could put Carol and Pluto on a horse. Nariel and Ren on a horse. That's 2 horses, right?
No, that's 2 horses.
Yeah, so those are the 2 regular horses. Because then Rangrim has his own horse that he can
Summon.
call up.
Can he have a rider with him? Can he have can he double?
Fairly certain he can.
It doesn't matter. For the
Yeah.
sake of our game, we'll say he can.
He can.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then my horse has what's the horse speed normal? 60, right?
60.
60. is
If
that
it's dashing, it's 120.
Okay.
I can,
My regular is 100.
I can run as fast as a horse.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
so we got Rangrim and who else? There's
Carol.
Let's put Carol with Rangrim for protection's sake.
I thought Carol was with Quill.
I can't have 2 on the horse.
Okay, you can't have 2.
We can only hold
The
6.
spell only says one, me or someone else.
Okay,
I
so
choose.
we put Carol and
Carol and Rangrim, Ren Buckley and Pluto Nash,
what about Jin and
Tonic.
shut up.
Can ride on one of the other regular horses, and then we have
I ride my own,
you ride your own.
and we still have one, and then Nario rides his own.
Yeah, and then Nario rides his own.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
everyone covered?
You guys are heading back to Waterdeep at a very high rate of velocities. You guys are galloping away from this place. You've gone.
Love centipedes.
You've gone east, away from the ocean, where this you guys could kind of see the ocean almost from this old whatever monastery or whatever it was.
Slave house.
Anyway, you've headed east towards the main road that used to go between Neverwinter and Waterdeep. You know that to the north there's construction on this road. Rangrim knows this because Rangrim, here we'll give you some back. Rangrim knows because you supplied supplies for this and wagons and stuff like that to help out. There'll be more information for you as we go. But you worked with one of the trading companies that is moving stuff up this and down this road. You have a vague idea of some things that might be going on in the background of the whole story, but you know that up the road there is construction going to keep the road from going further into the Mare of Dead Men. And as you guys are racing south down the road back to Waterdeep, I need you to roll me a perception check. Just roll one for each, and that'll be enough.
Nariel got a nat 20.
And I got the opposite. While I'm doing it, there's importance.
Our
There's
cat
a 10
escaped.
and a 3.
I want to apologize. Our cat got out the front door. I had to go.
Rescue him from his own silliness.
Okay, I'm rolling perception.
Yeah, for you and Pluto.
Rangrim got a 15.
Pluto got a 10, and Rem Buckley got a, I believe that's a 18.
There you go. You guys, as you guys are heading down the road, you see some rocks flying at you. As you're coming down the road, off the side of a hill, these rocks come flying at you. So you're not surprised by them. So there's 4 rocks. There's 4 horses, right?
Yeah.
Who's in the
5
lead?
horses.
Who's in the lead?
Isn't there? Oh no, 4 horses.
In the lead will be Rangrim.
Okay. Who's second?
Rem Buckley and Pluto.
Third?
Nariel
What about-
at the rear.
Carol or Gin and Tonic. Shut up.
Let's put them 4th.
Okay. They're the big fighter guys.
Well, they're also pretty badly hurt, I guess, or did we heal them up?
I think.
I think we healed them all up.
Well, if we have 8 of us, only 4 horses. Should we just say someone's with me? Just whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Whatever.
It's my game. You can have Zeb.
Tonic. Okay.
Zeb.
I swear, if his
Short for
child-
Zebediah.
If his
Not
childhood
Jebediah, but
name
Zebediah.
wasn't Tonic,
So, you're in the lead.
no, it's
You're Rangrim and Carol.
Rangrim and Carol.
Rock is at you, and it misses. Then you guys,
Yeah.
that misses. And you're next?
Yeah.
What's you and who?
Carol, I guess. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Zeb? No,
Carol.
Zeb and Jin can be on a horse. You and Carol.
Sure.
Who's on a horse with you? Nobody?
It'd be
No,
Rangrim and Naria.
I thought
Rangrim and Nariel. Okay.
No, because Rangrim and Carol.
So Nariel, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Someone's
You and Carol. That's a miss. And then Jin and Zeb. That'll be on Jin. Ooh. Jin takes a hit, guys.
Does he fall though?
We're gonna roll dex to find out. He's gonna take some bludgeoning damage.
Important things, does he fall?
We're gonna find out right away. Where's his dex? There it is.
Does our beef fall?
We'll find out. He's gonna roll a dex here right away. Nope, he manages to stay on, but he takes 3 points of bludgeoning damage for his trouble. And guess what? My notes say he's down to 1 hit point. But I know that's not right. He's got like 20 left, so he takes another smack in the head.
Okay.
Manages to keep riding. To the west of you, up in the hills, as you guys ride south, you can see a group of orcs that have just come kind of over a ridge and then down, trying to come down the hill at you guys. And they knew you were where you were and where you were coming from, and they threw some rocks at you, trying to slow you up and keep you from escaping.
But they didn't.
But you guys managed to roll well, and I rolled poorly,
We got past.
and you guys got past. Let's skip ahead
Yay.
to the gates of Waterdeep,
Yes!
the city of splendors.
Second best city in
You guys ride all night.
the
Just stop talking.
On the Sword Coast.
You ride all night because it was evening, late evening, when
Like I said, second best city.
you guys escaped.
Skyrim.
I need Nariel. Nariel, I need you. I need Rangrim and Quill. To roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Seven.
You guys each take, or what did you get?
17 for Nario.
You're good. You take a level of
and
exhaustion.
17 for both of them.
You take 1 level of exhaustion.
What about the rest of us?
You guys
Should
weren't
Pluto-
traveling. You guys weren't traveling
Pluto Nash.
for more than 8 hours. Oh yeah, Pluto. You better roll for Pluto. Sorry.
Nario wasn't traveling more than 8 hours.
Constitution?
Rangrim was.
Yeah.
Is that Constitution?
Yes.
6.
Oh, I only
He
have
takes a level of exhaustion. Because you guys traveled there, had a quick fight, and then traveled back. 16-hour day.
1 exhaust.
And I'm only giving you 1 level of exhaustion where I should be giving you 3. But it doesn't matter. I'm just doing that
Whatever.
for narration.
I think good. I think good.
You guys get back to Waterdeep, and you come through the north gate. There's wagons. You guys can see wagons getting geared up, ready to go. Rangrim, roll me a quick perception check.
That's a 10.
Being that you've been in the city now for a year and a half, and you know the city fairly good, and you know what's going on, you're looking for it. As you come through the gate, you notice that there are several different caravans getting ready to leave, and you notice one of the caravans is you know that you see that you know the caravan is part of the High Road Charter Company. You know that they're a consortium of guilds and noble houses that partnered with Lord Nevermember to complete the construction on the road, because you've been sending wagons with this consortium with supplies and guards. A few times you've sent them up the road to you have managed to get in on this business and make some money sending supplies up the road to...
Would you say it's lucrative?
I would say it's fair to middling. It's just another source of income to ship stuff, because that's what you do. You're a shipping company. You have your own wagons. You hire your own drivers. You also hire out to other types of wagons. You hire out to the High Road Charter Company, right? You send wagons out to the High Road Charter Company. You ship stuff through them, and you know that Lord Ilfiker is a noble, and he's just part of this consortium.
From a dungeoneer to a wagoneer.
So,
Well, as long as I still got my ear.
As long as it's not a dragoneer.
and you see that there's wagons and stuff and people getting ready. But as you get back, where are you guys headed, by the way? Now that you're here in Waterdeep, where are you guys headed? Rangrim, where are you taking everybody?
To my house.
To Lord Fingley's?
I don't have my own house.
You live at Lord Fingley's.
Oh, okay.
You kind of have run of the place. And all of his business.
Are there does he have private doctors?
Lord Fingley?
Yeah, how's everyone doing for damage?
I'd say we all want to
Yeah,
have like
we
some
all
form
need
of
to-
private, like go to a Rem Buckley's speaking out, like, we are all hurt. Please bring
Can our
doctor.
cleric not heal?
Our cleric needs to have a long rest.
Our cleric's out of rest stuff.
Our cleric is not doing so hot.
Only person who didn't take damage in that fight was probably Pluto.
You kind of just sort of went.
He did exactly what Pluto Nash did.
So,
Not much.
what's the conversation?
Should we go to your place and then call for a doctor?
I'd
I
say,
think that makes the most sense.
yeah, we'd go back to your place.
You all come back to my place, or we'll get you set up and rest for the night. See if we can't get you some healing done.
Now, you do understand that he's got a Carol, Jin, Zeb,
All families.
all have just their underclothes on. As you guys come riding into the city.
Correction.
And-
first stop, let's find a clothing shop.
And this guy, Red Buckley, he's got a potato sack with a potato sack ripped strip of potato sack
As a belt.
to keep up and nothing else. So you arrive at, I will say you arrive at Rangrim's or at Lord Fingling's vast estate. You ride in to the back where the stable is.
This was a adventure that started here. Now I'm reminiscing. Wasn't that a fun time? Red Buckley looks over to Rangrim.
You're more trouble than you're worth.
I tried investing with you, and look where that's got me. $2,000 in the hole.
Like I said, you're more trouble than you're worth.
I still had money in you, like with you.
I'm aware.
It's more trouble than it's worth, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, yeah, let's get me. I just
Let's
want.
get you out of
I want a bath.
that and get you into some clothes.
I don't want to be bleeding anymore.
You, you guys are riding through town, you're having this conversation. And the city guard, you go past a group of city guards, and one is just like, "Oi! What the?" As you're going by, and, "Hey, you! Wait! Hey!"
I just look back. Slavery!
They're like, "What?"
Would you keep your bleeding trap shut?
No. I feel like we should go to the town. We should go to an actual guard for this.
You get back to the mansion. You ride in. You guys get settled, have a bite to eat, have a bath. You do know that Lord Fingling does keep some spare clothing around in the house.
Some probably nice clothes.
They're not gonna fit. He's tall, skinny. He wears he would be what do they call those guys who wear the skinny jeans?
Hipster?
Yeah, he'd be a hipster.
Would he have clothing there for his servants and stuff like that?
Guess
No.
what?
His servants have their own clothing, but they
Red
managed to
button.
find you. They managed to find you some. They managed to find you a serviceable pair of pants, and a pair of They're kind of a slipper.
Can I say something? Ren Buckley knows how to use a disguise kit. He
Great.
can fix up whatever clothes he wants.
Cool. Do you have a disguise kit?
You have nothing.
I have nothing. It was all stolen from me. Do you have any needles? Some thread?
I've got an eagle poking me right in the hiney right now.
Okay, I will wear whatever you give me at this point.
Good.
The head of the house, the head servant of the house comes to you and says,
Wait, what about
"Lord Rangrim,
those
what can?" And he looks at all these people in short clothes. "I'll draw baths, sir,
Thank you.
Yeah.
and then we'll see if we can dig something out of the charitable donations bin."
Oh.
That would be much appreciated.
Very good, sir. He turns to his staff, his other staff members that are waiting there, and says, "So, baths and find some clothes for them. Miriam, see if you can find. Excuse me, what's your name?" And he looks at Carol, and
It's gonna be an exposition.
she kind of goes. She's never been in a place like this. She's like, from the sticks. My name's Carol. See if you can find Carol something to wear. If you would, please. Thank you. And these two gentlemen, well, see if you can find them something. Go on, he says.
Wait, how tall is Lord Bingley?
He's probably 6'5".
I'm 6.
He's taller than you.
So you little bit taller.
Yeah, you'd fit some of his stuff.
I'd fit some of this stuff.
Anyway,
Whatever.
they find some things that'll help get you to a clothier or whatever. But Jin and Zeb come to you later on, and you guys are. What are you guys doing? Are you eating? What are you guys doing here?
Did we get a cleric to the house apart from?
Did you order one?
No. I mean,
Just have
Rangrim
a
goes
serv-
around and
Just have
What's the head butler's name? Rangrim.
Make it good. You get to name a character.
Urkel.
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 Yes, sir. Urkel.
Wait, can Urkel roll a history check to try and remember me?
Actually, they don't
Recognize?
They don't recognize you.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Maybe once I get cleaned up.
You looked a little more dapper when you were.
When I was rich? Is that what you're gonna say?
You were never in this home when you were wealthy.
I was still more dapper when I was rich.
And you were
And
dressed up
she
in-
only knew me when I was rich.
Yeah, I'm talking out of the game. You were in servant's clothes at that time, right?
Oh yeah, that
Nobody
that
notices.
servant clothes was cool though.
Nobody notices servants.
What do we need a cleric when we still have Rangrim?
I thought you couldn't heal. I thought you didn't have any more healing.
Nariel doesn't.
Rangrim. Then why hasn't
Because Rangrim showed up, pulled you out, and we just went straight home.
Okay.
Sir, dinner will be served in 1 hour.
Thank you, Urkel.
Very good, sir. Will there be anything else?
Uh,
The baths are drawn. You will all have a place you can go, and you will be shown there. Carol, if you would go with Miriam, she will show you up to the private ladies' chamber where you can bathe and dress yourself. And the gentlemen, they can bathe upstairs in the master's quarters and in the servants' quarters and in the spare room.
Okay. If you could call a cleric for our friends too, they're a little worse for wear.
Any particular denomination, sir?
Let's get some from Lathander. They seem to be doing a pretty good job.
Very good. William! And he calls over a young boy. William, run to the Temple of Lathander and fetch us a priest.
Yes, sir. Very good, sir. Right away.
And he's off and running. Out the front door he goes. William's about 14. He works in the stable, but he also works around the house. He's a very handy guy. Are you writing all this down? I hope so, because I'm not. And I'm not going to try to remember it.
It's Urkel and what?
William?
William and Myriad.
Miriam,
Miriam.
so far.
That'd be a cool character name, Myriad. Did you nick? So
No.
he nicked the good pencil.
We have lots of those green pencils up there.
Pass me the eraser. Just the Stedler eraser.
There you go.
I have a bigger eraser.
He's a better thief than you are.
Wow. You're gonna pull that.
I have a bigger eraser.
My button's bigger and it works.
Anyway, he says, will there be anything else for now, sir?
Not for now. Thank you, Echo.
Very good, sir. Things will be ready in an hour. So what are you guys doing? You're going to go bath?
Bath time.
Jin and Zeb, they go and bathe. Carol goes and bathes. We'll call it an hour later.
Mhm.
Is there anything you want to do?
I'll go bathe, whatever. That's
Okay. Everybody's allowed to
good
bathe,
to
clean
be,
up.
Good to be clean.
Does everybody get healed by the clerics?
By the time you guys are done bathing, the cleric arrives, and he arrives with a couple of acolytes.
Yay. Back up to full.
And he says, "Alrighty, let the healing begin." All right, let the healing begin, man. Lathander loves you guys. Yeah, you guys gotta meet some of my friends with Lathander, man.
You said they
Bless
were doing
it.
well?
All right.
All right, all right, all right.
Maybe it's just night shift, guys.
All right, all right.
Maybe it's just the night shift, guys.
Anyway, it is.
Well, you know, when something's doing good, you get all these people that want to join up.
And
Now when
they
something's doing good.
they bring some. They actually bring some potions of greater healing, and some potion, and some spells. And you know, half an hour, 40 minutes
chugging.
later, they are finished, and you guys are healed. Everybody gets full hit points and all that good stuff.
Thank you, Lathander.
And
it's like Mennonites.
the head priest comes to you and says, "Your friends will be well now."
Thank you. How much do I owe you for the services?
It's a paltry sum, but several healing potions and spells, probably looking about 500 gold.
All right, here you go, good sir. Note, I take it out of Ren's investment fund.
Yo, no! I can sue!
You don't know that, so stop metagaming.
Can I roll perception?
No,
I'm sure he just has a bag that says
You're gonna-
Ren's investment.
Yeah.
his mind.
Can I?
No, you can't.
Can I call upon a god?
No. Anyway,
Dog probably goes, you deserve it.
Guess that's why your investments aren't doing
Not
so
if it's
good.
an evil god.
so
Your
you pay.
investments are his pocket
He says,
change.
if there's anything else, you
Which,
please feel free to call on us.
As I will.
Very good. Good evening,
Good evening, thank
lads.
you for your services.
Let's go. And they let themselves. William takes them back out the door. And anyway, dinner is
I
served.
can't believe you just did that.
Good one.
You take everything way too literally.
Yes, I do. Because I'm
I'm paying for your healing with your money
needed that money for other
to
things.
be healed, yes.
No, for other
You're the one
things.
demanding a cleric.
Anyway,
No, that was.
dinner is served.
I said it was an idea.
Who's going to? Carol like bolts for the dining room, and so does Jin and Zeb. They're gone.
Ren Buckley politely walks while Plutonosh walks right out the door because he hasn't gotten paid. And he's gonna sit on the doorstep till he gets paid.
Fair enough. Quill.
I'm going to go eat. I want to eat.
I'll
It's
make a
been
quick stop
16
at the
hours.
bar and pour myself a whiskey.
That's in the dining room. There's a bar in the dining room.
I'm gonna politely walk to the dining table.
You guys sit down, and the servants begin to set out your meals in front of you, and it's very proper. This is how Rangrim has lived his life for the past year and a bit. He has lived in the lap of luxury. Rangrim, what does everybody notice about you when you sit down and you're cleaned up and you have your vest on and
A thing next to your vest that's kind of in this section.
do they notice that, or is it covered up by your long sleeve shirt?
I look quite nice, and I don't deal with long sleeve shirts all that much.
Mm-hmm.
You see the glint of metal in the whole left arm kind of a region.
The worst thing about eating popcorn?
Loud.
It gets stuck in your teeth.
The stuff.
Right here.
Oh,
It's stuck right here, people. Are you seeing this?
No, they can't at all.
Anyway,
a resolution's good, but not that good.
Quill doesn't notice your arm because she's exhausted and has fallen asleep at the table.
roll me a dex check.
You get to fall out of the table.
No. Soup was the first thing served. A nat 1 means, as you guys are sitting at the table, your new little friend, she face plants right in her bowl of soup, and it's just like everybody's, what? Stop! And you hear this as Quill goes face first into her soup off of her high chair.
Is she asleep?
She's gone. She's gone. She's out like a light.
Someone want to pull her head out of that?
I think you should get Urkel to bring her to us.
Urkel said, I will take care of it, sir. And
Thank you.
he calls,
William.
not William, but John. He calls John over. John, please.
Names.
And John picks little Quill up. Where should I take her, sir? Take her to the spare room. There's extra beds. Very good, sir. And up they go. And you're gone to bed. You're gonna get an 8-hour rest.
I feel like she's young and would like totally be exhausted.
Do that.
Yeah.
She went a little bit too hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's too many shots.
A lot of adventuring for
So, Rangrim.
a tiny one.
This is Ren Buckley now speaking to Rangrim. You know how I mentioned back while we were riding here
Yeah.
the money I invested?
Mm-hmm.
I need that back.
Well, it's tied up in investments, you see.
That is fine, but even if it's a loan, I need to find somebody, and I currently don't have the cash to do that anymore. And as
You still have the bag.
a close, as a close friend, I suppose.
Close.
I'll sleep
That was a
in bed.
mistake, and we are all very sorry about that. And I'm going to go after Asus.
Friends don't let friends get eaten.
Plus all that extra.
I understand that. It was not our intention. We are sorry. I am sorry, Rangrim. But this has to be done. You know this as well as I do. Asus cannot be left alive. He is too dangerous to any of us. He's dangerous to you, he's dangerous to us. He's shown us that.
Well, I'm fairly certain he's only going after you.
We-
And maybe Bor.
We have the upper hand now. He thinks we are slaves. He thinks we are dead.
Do you think the breakout's gonna pass him by?
I don't think he'll think it's us. I think he thinks we'll be sold off quickly because of how... Let's be real, we're powerful.
So powerful you end up getting caught and thrown into slavers? Prison? Come on.
Not physically powerful, but we do have strong allies.
The man who took us was incredibly well organized.
This is Carol. She speaks up.
He was incredibly well organized and quite vicious. What did you call his name?
Asus Mordalis. Did he wear a black set of leather armor? Pure black. Black studs, black hood.
I don't know. But all I know is the people who took us were incredibly well organized and incredibly dangerous. And they said they wouldn't kill us if we just came along quietly.
That is correct. Jin says that is correct. I wish I could stay longer.
You have a family, Jin. So do you, Carol. You have to get back to them.
We have to get back to our, they belong to
We have to get back to our master. I am in his charge, and we were guarding his wagon when we were taken. Zeb and I are in the employ of another noble.
Okay.
Not here in Waterdeep, however, but further north. All I could ask is if you could supply us with a couple of horses and food enough to get home and a sturdy sword, we'd be fine.
I'm sure we can work something out. You're more than welcome to stay the night. Get rested up so you can, be at your best.
That would be phenomenal. And Carol pipes up, what about me?
You may stay the night as well. Do you need assistance finding your family?
I don't know if they're alive. I could return south to Baldur's Gate. I know I have family there.
I'll find you a wagon to travel on.
Ensure who's the
appreciate it.
strongest protection you can get. If it comes out of my money, do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Alright, so after
Hello
all
there.
of that, the money that's left over from your account for you, kind of slide you a copper.
I need
Rangrim's just giggling his cool head off at the supper table. You're sitting beside him, and he's just losing his mind. He's playing you, man. And
I pick up the copper.
Jin goes, Mr. Buckley, I believe your friend is playing you.
I understand that, Jin. I understand that very well. I let him get eaten, and that's fine.
How are you eating? How did you... Is that arm for real?
Yes! Ting, ting, ting!
How did that happen?
Well, it's a long story. Here we were adventuring. I stumbled upon their group, and I figured, you know what? These guys seem like they'd be having a fun adventure
We
time.
were having a fun adventure time.
So I figured I'll tag along, help them find this orb of whatever.
Orb of Dragonkind. We found it, by the way.
A what? Jin goes, a what?
It's just a thing.
Maybe that's why I omitted that part.
Yeah, well, a minute doesn't matter when I have literally nothing.
Anyways, we go into a dungeon. I end up getting knocked unconscious, and instead of, dragging my body away from the evil creature who is eating not only my body, but my soul, they just let it feast.
We killed it. You're still alive. Now look at you. You have literally the world at your fingertips.
You do. You
Yeah,
have the world at
all
your
5
fingers.
of them.
Well, what are
1,
those?
2, 3, 4, 5. 10. You have 10 fingers.
And you do. You go like this. You go, and you can hear the whirring sound. As your fingers open and close.
8 if you don't count the thumbs.
Yeah, the opposable thumb works really well.
Literally a fist of magic in your arm. You could probably punch through a wall.
Zeb's like, wow, that's awesome, man.
I use that arm, and I reach down, and I grab a bag of 200 gold, and I just toss it to you.
Clink.
I don't toss it gently.
You gotta remember,
Level 7 rogue. Reflexes of whatever fastest creature you want to name.
roll me a dex check. Smart mouth. I was gonna just let it happen.
That one! 2 nat ones in a row, baby.
So how do you want this to happen? The bag hits you in the side of the head, knocks you out of your chair. As you're going over, you reach for the table. You reach for the table. You hit the soup bowl. It spills all over you in your clothes, and it's hot. It's hot soup. And now it's all over you. You're laying on the floor. Oh, by the way, do yourself a favor. After all that healing, take 4 points of burn damage from the hot soup. You're dead. And Carol, she can't stop laughing. She's like, I'm going to pee my pants.
I leave.
And Jin and
Jin
and Zeb, they're doing everything they can just to.
at this point, Pluto Nash has actually like sort of wandered in. It's like, that actually just happened.
Well played.
And Pluto Nash walks up to Random. You still haven't paid me. I was promised like what, 20 silver? How much was he promised?
I don't remember.
I think it was 20 silver.
It was like 5 gold, wasn't it?
No, it was like 20 or
20
10 or
silver.
20
Or
silver.
10 or 20 silver?
Yeah.
He was cheap. Level 1 rogue, they're cheap.
I don't think that Brendan really understands how the currency works.
I was promised like 20 silver.
Just give him a gold.
Now I'll give you a gold piece. Or no, 20 silver is 2 gold.
Yeah, give him a gold piece.
Yeah. I'll give you a gold piece.
1 gold piece, you're so nice, sir. Oh,
That's Pluto.
He's probably never held
That's
a gold
exactly-
piece in his life.
this is so wonderful. Where I come from, we eat bark. He's a wood elf. We literally eat trees. We're protectors, but we eat the trees.
You're a good sort.
I'm going to buy my very first fish. He will be a pretty fish.
Excellent.
And he runs out the door to go to the nearest pet store.
There you go. He's out.
Blazing past Ren Buckley, who is drenched in soup and just wants to
Take another bath.
take another bath.
And Urkel is there. He's like, do you need a hand, sir? Can I draw you another bath and get you some clean clothes? Perhaps a good night's rest.
I think that would be the best. Urkel, was it? Mr. Urkel? What should I call
Just
him?
Urkel, sir.
Urkel? Sidebar with Urkel. Urkel,
Sir.
can you get me a list of... I don't know if you deal with these sorts, but can you get me a list of all underground magical item sales?
Oh. No.
No?
I don't know any of those kinds of things. If you need a magical item store, I believe Bonos is in the merchant district.
Okay. I will find that mask. And I go up and I wait for the bath to be drawn.
Yeah, another bath drawn, you're upstairs. Jin and Zeb excuse themselves after a wonderful meal. Main dish is served. Carol eats like her whole plate and then some. And this girl is like, she's a hardy lass, but she's a waif. Like, she's not big and strong or anything, but she's not, she just looks like she's tough. She doesn't look frail and fragile, and she just looks like she's seen some things and done some stuff, and she looks
Farm
practical.
girl?
Practical.
Yeah, so a farm girl?
Small town. She's going back to Baldur's Gate, which is a big city, but she probably lives on a farm just outside of town, so she knows both sides of that
Life.
She knows taking crops and stuff
Yeah.
into town to sell.
So really pretty farmer girls.
She's not hard to look at. She's not hard to look at.
Let's put it this way, she's got a higher charisma than Pluto.
Anybody has a higher charisma than Pluto.
True that.
He is like difficult to even be around for a few moments.
Like, it's Nariel's dump stat. And
It's
Nariel-
still better.
Yeah.
Pluto's also really scrawny.
Yeah.
He's a guy.
And when he lays on the table, his arm always out like this. Anyhow,
Wait, that is a wise wood elf eating bark.
so he's gone. Pluto's gone. You're gone to Bade's bed. Gin, tonic, bed. Carol, she excuses herself. The servants clean up the mess. You're still at the table by yourself.
Yep.
Nariel excuses himself, and he too sets off to bed. And
Rangrim will retire to a study with a little glass of scotch now, and he'll journal the events of the day.
as you enter your study and sit down at your desk, there's a couple of high back chairs in your office. As you sit down at your desk, you hear.
Okay. Can I look to see who it is?
As you look up, seated in one of the high back chairs in the corner near the fireplace, between the window and the fireplace, is Lord Fingling Ilfiker, master of this household, and your boss.
Mhm.
And he says, "Good evening, good dwarf.
Good evening, sir.
How have you been?"
I've been well.
"Excellent. How's business?"
Business is good.
"Most excellent. These are good things to hear. Tell me, have you had any adventures?"
I have saved some people who have been sold into slavery just north of here.
He gets a very curious look on his face, almost worrisome. "Slavers?
Aye.
Around Waterdeep?"
They had apparently taken some good friends of mine.
Who you have new friends? What happened to your old friends? That's nor here nor there. Tell me more about these slavers. I have many things to share with you, but please, tell me more.
As I approached the slaving encampment, it's kind of a monastery type of a dealio.
Now he's looked really curious. You just keep talking.
There's they were engaged with a horde of orcs and ogres at the gates. They just lost the battle.
That monastery is supposed to be empty. It was destroyed by fire years and years ago. My question is, what are slavers doing using it for their particular endeavors? Did you see anything curious? Were there any markings of any kind on any of the slavers? Did you see anything out of the ordinary?
I did not notice anything, but some of my friends and their companions that I rescued seemed to notice a couple of markings.
They've all gone to bed, I suppose.
They have.
They've had a long day.
Too long, I'm afraid.
When did you get back?
A couple hours ago. Or about an hour ago.
It'd be 2 hours.
This is
Oh, an hour and a half.
actually, yeah. It's you guys went all day cleaning up, kind of had a nap,
Oh, really?
and this is back into the evening again. Who is that curious little waif of a thing that ran out the front door? The tall, skinny thing.
The wood elf?
Looked like an elf.
The what of? Pluto.
Wood elf, yes.
Pluto Nash. He's
Did you hire him?
I did. For a small sum. He was happy with a single gold.
What purpose did you hire him? Just to go and rescue your friends?
Yes.
I see. Slavers.
Nash is knocking at the door.
Mildly, they can mildly hear it, but the door is answered by Urkel. Oh, you. What can I do for you, Mr.
Pluto Nash.
What can I do for you?
This is 1 gold piece, 10 silver. I specifically got 20 silver for my endeavors. That is the deal we made. This is 10 silver.
Very good, sir. Would you mind waiting here on the bench on the veranda?
I would.
Thank you. And he shuts the door in his face. You hear a light, gentle rap at your chamber door. You hear this rap on your door.
Enter.
Sir, I almost hate to bother you, but Mr. Nash is back and is demanding his other 10 silver pieces. Would you be willing to pay him, sir?
I'll hand Urkel the 10 silver.
The silver or a gold piece?
I'll hand him the silver.
Do 200 copper.
So you hand him the 10 silver. Excellent, sir. Will that be all for this evening, or will you need anything else?
That'll be all, thank you.
Very good. I will take care of this bothersome bit of mess, and have a very good evening. You'll find your bed turned down and everything in order.
Thank you.
Very good, sir. Good night. And he shuts the door. He doesn't even notice Lord Fingley sitting near the fireplace. He goes back to the door. He opens the door. He holds out his hand like this. Your payment. And he just does this, and he slams the door shut. And you hear all these clicks, like clop, click, click.
He's kind of like
All these locks going into place.
he like puts it into his pouch and is like,
And then you hear this.
how rude.
And then you hear this. And the front door starts to glow.
Can he touch it?
He most certainly can.
Yeah. Pluto Nash is not. He is not the brightest.
He's got intelligence of 12.
Yeah.
That's the same as Nariel.
He knows how to speak, he knows how to read, and he probably knows how to write his name.
He's above average.
He knows
He's
math.
above
He knows a little bit of math.
Yeah, he can math a little
2
bit.
plus 2 is 4.
That's
4
how
plus 4 is
that's how he
9.
was able to figure out he only had 10 silver in his hand. He just
No,
not-
I had a different thing. I was gonna say he was walking down the street, dropped the gold, and then like a gutter snipe went and picked it up. So he's just coming back to get the rest, thinking he could up his
up his
price.
game.
I should have had a charisma check for that.
Anyway, the long and the short of it is, back to Ramgriff.
Wait, what happens when he touches the door?
He did.
Oh, that's no fun.
Anyhow, he comes back to you two. You and Lord Fingley.
Okay.
How were your friends taken? Do you know any of the details?
Apparently it was by old enemy we had faced in the past.
And his brow furrows. He's like, who?
Asus Mordalis.
Pardon me.
That it
That
can't be
one.
right because I know Bort decapitated him.
He must have some very powerful powerful friends. Listen, I've been contacted not only by my own enclave, but by several of the other enclaves. And they're all coming here eventually. There's been speak of cultists, dragon cultists, doing strange things again. Re-engaged in the old traditions of doing their whatever it is they do. But they're not only summoning lich dragons and building liches, they're trying to summon and bring other types of dragons together. There's all sorts of stories. Apparently the cult has been running small communities into the ground, taking people for slaves and taking all of whatever riches that town has.
Brendan, Captain Emo says hi.
Most recently, Greenest was hit. Apparently,
Sorry.
this is our Brendan.
Yeah, he's not some doppelganger. That's exactly what Brendan would do.
Anyway, apparently they are running. They're taking and running small towns and villages, and they're running them over. They don't know exactly what the purpose is, but there's all kinds of talk of the cult of the dragon doing things, taking people. Weird things have been going on. We're getting visitors tomorrow. My friend and longtime compatriot Onthar Froom is coming up from Baldur's Gate. And we'll be here tomorrow, along with, apparently he'll be meeting some of the people he's working with. Perhaps we'll get to meet them all. And one of my compatriots, another silver like me, she will be here as well. Whatever they're up to, apparently it's all going north. That's why it's imperative that we speak with your friends and find out if they saw anything. This is all very troubling. Talk of the dragon cult has not happened for years. In the beginning, do you know the story of dragons? A little bit even.
I know a little bit, not much.
In the beginning, the dragons ruled in all the realms. We ruled it all. Then came the elves, the dwarves, like yourself, halflings, and all such as their ilk. The half, all the different types of humanoids. And then came the humans. Like a plague, the humans soon came to dominate all of the realms, subduing it, subduing the lands, and driving out anything that stood in their way, including dragons. Eons ago, those 5 orbs that we were looking for, they were created to control dragons. Those orbs of dragon kind are very powerful artifacts. The one that you found in the Grey Peaks is now safely in the hands of our elders. We don't know. We know that there's at least 2 more that can be found out there. We don't know where the other 2 are. We haven't a clue. But we do know there were 3 hanging around. That's why I asked you. That's why you and your friends were asked in the beginning to go and look for them. By the way, how is Mr. Horsfaller and Mr. Buckley and Torment?
Bor and Ren were part of that group that were captured by the slavers.
Mr. Buckley, Mr. Horsfaller.
Apparently Bor had been sold off by the time I had arrived.
Oh my. We must speak with your friends soon. What about Torment?
Torment was not with them. From a right back, what I gathered is she's taken up residence in Neverwinter.
What is she doing? Anything with her life? Do you know of?
Not that I know of. I know that she was trying to change her patron,
Interesting.
which is not an easy thing for a warlock to do.
No, I've heard news of. There's a devil. His name is Lorcan. He's on the prowl for warlocks. These are things that, as an ancient old dragon like myself, we hear these things. He's looking for warlocks. He collects them. He's looking for the lines. He's looking for warlocks, particularly from the lines of the ancient first warlocks, the first tieflings. Anyhow, with all of that said, we must keep the orbs out of the hands of these cultists. Bahamut would not that they would get their hands on them. So he has tasked us, the goodly dragons, to find the orbs by whatever means, and that's what we had you and your friends do. But seeing now that this cult of the dragon is on the prowl again, I think we have to turn our eyes in a different direction. Do you think your friends would be up for a new task?
You just rip it off like a band-aid, Brendan.
I'm certain they would. We will talk with them in the morning. We'll see if they'll go.
No, that's open.
Mr. Buckley might prove to be a pricey one to try and convince. But I'm sure we can convince him for a low price.
You know, I just adore him. You know me. I love little humans.
And stop fiddling with the ball.
They're a wonderful race. Stop and think about it, Random. You're going to live to be 300 years old. I myself am... I'm well on in years. But they live to be a paltry sum of years. When I was just a babe, these people are old. They're dying. They get so much accomplished in such a little time. That is what makes them so beautifully unique. But it is a human. From what I understand, that is leading this cult. I'm not sure of all the details, but I'm sure if Bor has been taken, that the cult had something to do with it. We don't know exactly what they're up to. Like I said, I'll be speaking further with my friends tomorrow. I'd like to speak with Mr. Buckley. Perhaps we could find their friend. Perhaps we could see to it if we could get Torment as well, if it's possible. My friend, I will let you get some sleep.
Thank you.
I will take my leave, Mr. Rangrim. Curious things. We must find out what the truth is. Until the morning.
For the morning, sir.
He stands up, walks to the door, and heads out. Curious enough, you're in his office. And he sits in it like it's yours. And,
Would be respected.
well,
I think he's just putting up with me at this point.
We're all putting up with you.
so let's do this. You know, the morning song.
Okay, we're awake.
The sun comes up, cake's on the griddle, life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy.
Can you not stuff your face like with 1,800 pieces of popcorn at one time?
Well, that's how popcorn works.
One piece at a time.
2 handful. Have you not seen that stolen name?
1, 2.
Do I have to take them away from you? Like, really?
Because you're missing your mouth half the time, too.
Yeah. You're a human being, not a farm animal. Anyhow.
No, I didn't watch any of Amy Schumer's stuff because Amy Schumer's stuff is not funny.
No, it's not. Let's not talk about her. Anyway. The next morning. There's a knock at your door.
What?
Miss Quillian? Miss Quillian?
Go away, I'm trying to sleep.
Click, the door opens. It's a new day. Your presence has been requested downstairs. And she goes and draws the drapes open. Big bright light. There's a fresh, hot bowl of
water and soap
You
and...
miss your mouth like 18 million% of the time.
Mr. Buckley!
Before the door even opens, I'm out.
Mr. Buckley!
I'm out.
I want to cast a minor illusion of drapes back in front of the window.
Door is open. Ren Buckley's
She's like-
walking down the hall.
I'll never understand wizards. And out the door she goes. Like, not even phased. Like, she's seen this before. Miriam is like... Stellar on top of this. Mr. Buckley?
Out the door. He's already.
Very good, sir.
He's ready. He's been ready for a few hours.
You're in your room with, what's his name?
Pluto.
No. You're not
Pluto's
even
not even in the house.
You're like living in the
He's out in the
streets.
doghouse.
So what happened, I guess we should quickly refresh Brendan, is we got back, you left the house basically immediately, but you ended up just sitting on the step because you remembered you hadn't gotten paid. And so for the first little while you just stood on the step hoping they would remember. Eventually none of us cared to remember you didn't get paid. So you walked in, as Ren Buckley was saying, splashed with soup. After taking a bag of 200 gold to the head. You chuckled a little bit, and then asked this guy for the 20 silver. The 20 silver you got. He handed you 1 gold. What?
You were fascinated by 1 gold piece and ran
You
out of the
were
house.
absolutely fascinated by 1 gold piece. You'd never touched it before. So you left. You also eat bark, tree bark, because you're a wood elf.
I get the feeling
And
this
then-
might be slightly racist stereotypes coming from.
And then this is what,
DD, where you can be anything you want to be, racist included.
then as you were walking down the street,
Oh my
you
goodness.
dropped the one
I just
gold
said that out
piece
loud.
you dropped the 1 gold piece you had, which you were staring at very intently. You tripped and dropped it, and a small child ran and nabbed it up. So you went back to the house and got another 10 gold pieces.
Silver.
Silver. 10 silver pieces.
There you go. And then you ran out. Then you were
Gone.
out of the house.
You're living on the street now.
You had 10 silver pieces. You could get a room somewhere for the night. Did you want to get a room somewhere for the night?
It's like a 1-star
No.
abode.
Well, I wouldn't say it's squalid. I mean, he could go up to
Maybe.
modest for 5, and half of his silver.
You could get a room and a meal for like 8 copper pieces.
Either way, you're poor.
So you guys are downstairs now? I'll make my way.
Ren Buckley is not even consulting Rangrim at this point. He's pouring himself several drinks.
I'm
One
going to
after
come
the
into the
other.
room and I'm remembering, Rangrim, when are we going to sell all this stuff that we talked about before we went on this adventure?
Right.
How long have you had that bag for?
Since Neverwinter.
Forgot we had stuff in there.
I didn't.
Jin and Zeb and Carol have come down, and you guys are having breakfast.
I honestly forgot we had stuff.
Good morning. Good morning.
Worth like 10,000
Good morning.
It's great to stay up late. Good morning.
Um,
Good morning to you.
We'll
I
be
get double because we
We'll be
killed
leaving
off,
this
one
morning.
of his characters, right?
we'll be heading north. You said you'd be able to furnish us with a couple of horses
Alright.
and perhaps a sword or two.
I can
where
grab
where
a
could
sword
we
too.
where do we go to pick those up? Do we get those here, or do we need to go somewhere? Rangrim, being Rangrim, you have connections all over town, everywhere. Every business knows Rangrim.
I'll write a couple of letters to credit to my account.
You did that last night when you were sitting down to do your notes.
Ah, see? Look.
You have that complete. And you actually hand them the writs. And the gentlemen, they have their breakfast and they thank you heartily and shake you by the hand. We want to thank you very much. If you ever find yourself near Mirabar, keep a lookout for us. We're with the Axe.
Oh, you're with the Axe and Mirabar.
We are.
Ah, it's good to see that you guys were able to get out of the slave pits then.
We'll be on the lookout for these ones. Did you notice the one's sword hilt? At all? Oh, you weren't even there.
I know.
There was a sword hilt. A scabbard, rather, sorry. His scabbard. And Zeb goes, yeah, the scabbard. Did you recognize it? Yeah, I've seen that before. I think that guy was some sort of cultist. I'm not sure, but we've heard tell of these people up in Mirabar before. Long time ago. We'll keep on the lookout for them. Thank you again. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Zeb claps your hand and says thank you as well. And we'll see you again. We hope to see you again.
I hope to see you as well.
Be well.
Be well, you go in peace.
Live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.
Yes, hail and good travels. And they out the door. Carol kind of, she's sitting at the table she's had her meal and you excused yourselves and took the gentleman to the door and Carol's sitting there. And are you going back to everybody's kind of in the dining room.
What does Carol do? Like, what is she? Oh, she was a farm girl, right?
I'm a farm girl.
She's a witch.
Because you've just asked her this.
Okay.
I'm a farm girl. I live near Baldur's Gate. Our
Are
family
you
was-
wanting to go back?
I want to find out if my family's alive. I want to see if the farm is still there.
We will have Rangrim.
We were attacked. Our farm was attacked late at night. And I don't know if all my family was taken or if I was taken or what. I just know we were attacked by whatever these people are. And I was brought to that place. I need to get home.
We know for a fact Rangrim has probably already set up a writ and a caravan for you. You will get home safely.
That's good to know. At which point,
Ryan Graham enters the room again.
and William is in tow.
Speak of the guy who's saved our lives.
Oh, hello, Mr. Frost.
Hello, Carol.
Mr. Frostbeard? Is that your name?
It is. Did you sleep well?
Yes. I slept very well, thank you.
All right.
Is it time?
It is. Have you finished your breakfast?
I have, thank you. And Miriam has fixed me up with an extra set of clothes.
I'm glad we were able to provide that for you.
Very good. Yes. I guess, thank you.
And she walks up to you and hugs you and gives you a kiss on the cheek.
Okay. I'll hug her back.
And you're kind of all turned red and all. You're kind of this tough old dwarf with a metal arm, and you give her a big hug, and she gives you a big hug and kiss you on the cheek, and you see her. She's almost in full tears. Thank you so much, she says, for saving our lives. I truly, truly do appreciate it. And if you are ever in or near Baldur's Gate, our farm is right near the edge of town. Our surname is Stormweather.
if I'm ever traveling down that way, I'll be sure to look you up.
Very good. I'm sure my father would extend his humblest of invitations to dine at his table. And William, what's he doing? What are you telling William to do?
William, if you could take this young lass down to the caravan, here's a writ for her passage. If you want to get her set up and good to go.
Very good, sir. I can do this, sir. No problem.
Thank you.
Miss Stormother, please, if you would. And he, thank you again. And they're out. So, Rangrim, Quill, and Ren Buckley,
And
And Nariel,
and Nariel sitting at the kitchen table.
What a group.
what are we gonna do now?
My boss would like to have a conversation with you about your time in the slave pits.
He's here.
And at that moment, Lord Fingling Ilfiker enters the breakfast room. And he strides, when he walks, it's like he doesn't even touch the ground.
And Buckley just
He
stands.
just floats. And he says, "No, Mr. Buckley, don't get up. It's good to see you again. It's good to see you again."
Good to see you too.
Ariel
Is-
stands as he enters and
And bows.
bows.
Lord Fingling, and he is what he is. He just gives the slightest of nods, and he takes his seat at the table, and his morning meal of one little
Pea.
no, it's a leaf. It's a leaf, and it's a mint leaf. It's one mint leaf. It's sitting on a plate.
Does he eat it with a knife and fork?
No. He sits at the table, and he his chin is like he's looking at everybody back and forth.
Awkward.
I understand that you ran into some trouble with slavers, Mr. Buckley.
We ran into trouble with I don't care about the slavers. No.
Mr. Buckley, I need you to collect your thoughts. And I need you to tell me, did you run into trouble with slavers? Yes or no?
And Buckley takes a deep breath.
It's a simple question.
Yes. Slavers. Yes.
Did you notice anything peculiar about them?
Do I have to roll something?
You need to roll me an intelligence check.
Do I use my +6?
Intelligence.
So +3, 10.
You tell him about a wizard who was dressed very irregularly.
There was he in a purple garb?
He was.
There was a wizard. He was one of the guys who bought Bor. He was wearing full purple garb, and when they described what Bor...
Actually, he was in a kind of a reddish,
Okay. He was in a reddish purple.
just red, lots of red. With some purple highlights, but
It was
Lots of red.
It was a very red cloak, and when they were describing what they were going to do with Bor, they described fight pits.
did they say anything? Was there anything about this wizard that was peculiar? His face,
Apart from his garb, it wasn't something you'd see a normal wizard wear.
Roll me another intelligence check.
That's 13.
Nariel, you remember what the wizard's face looked like. You remember the tattoos. all around his face and head.
Excuse me, sir. The wizard had tattoos all over his face and his head. It was quite strange.
Dressed in red. Thayan,
Thane?
red wizard, necromancer.
Necromancers, right, Quill?
You dabble in necromancy, Quillen. And this very imposing 6'5" elf looks at you, and you're about this tall.
And Quill doesn't
Like,
is not intimidated at all. She's more curious.
he's
About him.
extremely intimidating. As a matter of fact,
Right, but she's extremely naive, so she doesn't get
She
intimidated.
doesn't get it.
She doesn't get it. She doesn't
Exactly.
understand the intimidation tactics.
Do you know anything? Tell me something, Quillian. Do you know anything about red wizards?
No, I wasn't down in the pits, so I didn't see this red wizard.
So,
And sorry, my master Grolleman has. We haven't really dabbled too much into necromancy. I've kind of done that on my own.
excuse me, did you say Grolleman?
Yeah.
Tell me your master's last name. Long socks?
No, with long socks.
Well, that's what we called Grolleman. Because he would always wear these long, multicolored socks under his robes. And when he ran, he would lift his robes up and you would see nothing but these
Fig leaves.
rainbow of colors socks.
Well, that must have been a long time ago, because he never has ever ran as long as I've known him for my life.
I know who your master is. Interesting. He's as old as I am. Perhaps older.
Wow, that's really old.
Yes, young one, it is. Indeed. Is he still alive?
He is. We ran into him a while ago, but he was off on a personal quest.
Whereabouts?
We ran into him in.
The ice realm, wasn't it?
It was the ice realm. In the what? Frost realm?
Rostram.
The frost realm.
It was
Oh,
cold.
Frost Road. Interesting.
I don't know what
Did you
happened.
travel? How did you travel there?
We traveled through the Glade of the Ancients.
You used the
Way.
portals.
Yeah, I can use the portals.
He taught you how. Oh, that's interesting. And that's good to know.
Partially, I'm still learning.
That's good to know. I might have a book on portals for you.
I would love that book.
Just see Cole's eyes. Just
I will do anything for that book.
want me to kill this man? Done.
Interesting. I believe your friend was taken by a red wizard from Thay.
Okay.
I don't know who this wizard is or why he is
Doing what he's doing.
doing what he's doing or looking for slaves. However, there are many expatriate red wizards who live here in Faerun. Now, whether they're loyal to Zastham or not, they dare not go against him. Or they will face Zastham one day and they will either become one of his minions or be utterly destroyed.
Okay.
Rangrim. Do you think we could hire somebody to try to find this red wizard? I need to know more. I need to find out what's going on with this. If this cult is consorting with red wizards, or I need to find out something.
I'm sure we could find someone who'd be willing. We could try that rogue again. See if he'd be willing to risk his neck for the cause.
What was his name?
That waif,
Yeah.
Pluto Mars.
No, I think it was Pluto Nash.
Oh. Well, it's your call. It's your team. Did you want to take it up, or did you? I certainly could use you here. It's up to you.
See, this is the hard-hitting question. When you're in there, in the middle of your video game, you just stop there and it's like, do I go option A? Do I go option B? Option A? Or option B?
Which pill you gonna swallow? The red one or the blue one, buddy? Down which hole you want to go?
Red pill or blue pill?
I thought you wanted to be random again.
Yeah.
Are we gonna bring back the old group?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No. I like Cool Air and Torment.
Fair enough. I do like.
Wasn't there an elf traveling with you as well at one time?
We did have.
He's
No.
talking to. He's talking to. Yeah, he's talking to you.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to her?
Yeah. What ever happened to Arya?
Her. Yeah. Her.
She got all retarded and went back to her parents.
That's very derogatory, Quill. I am shunning you for what you just said. What happened was
Only
we were on we were on an island
Where?
investigating a tomb.
Which island? Where?
What was it?
Why were you there? What were you looking for?
How was I wrong, Ren?
She didn't go retarded. She went mute and insane.
Okay. He's like, okay. And he puts up his hands. And you can tell he's annoyed now. This is how, like, he only gets annoyed
I
very...
apologize.
You know he's annoyed.
I apologize.
He's like, what was the name of the island and why were you there?
I can't remember the name of the island off the top of my head, but there
Didn't
was...
we go? It was Mastika.
Yeah, Mastika. Yeah, that was the place.
What were you doing in such a land such as that?
Getting treasure.
Okay, so we were basically just there to get treasure. Investigated a tomb, a shrine,
Of?
Tamokan.
What?
It was well hidden.
It's very well hidden. And we got some pretty good loot out of it. One piece of which I am very attached to and will do anything for.
And I may have made it a little bit more hidden on our way out.
You
Oops.
straight up released a beast upon that island. Possibly the world.
I may have caused the collapse of the entire, remainder of the shrine.
Essentially, we got out of that place by the skin of our neck, being chased by zombies and pirates.
Skin of our neck. It's a weird way to phrase it.
Neck of our... Well, how would you say it?
Skin of our teeth.
Skin of our teeth, whatever.
Very good.
So, yeah, zombies and pirates.
I need a group of adventurers who will go north and investigate what these people are doing. From what I understand, they're taking wagons north, and they're using the consortium.
Would we be able to find Bor while we do this?
North? Maybe.
What do you mean? What? Oh, that's right. He was captured.
There is a chance we could find Bor with this group. Because if he was bought into it, then...
Well, perhaps the wizard you're looking for has gone north and taken Bor. Maybe that's the one I'm looking for.
That's very well possible to be. So,
Perhaps you can use your contacts to get. Who's going?
I will go. I'll help take up this cause.
Who?
Seems a
Who
worthy
are you?
cause. Nariel.
Nariel's going?
Nariel's going.
Not Rangrim?
No. It
That's okay. Rangrim's going to become a very important NPC.
yeah, it fits the
MO.
the story better.
Although Nariel could have easily stepped into Rangrim's shoes.
You,
Well, if that's the case.
if that's the case, then, ooh, he doesn't know.
I mean,
Do you go with the level 5 or the level 5? No, he's
Yeah.
level 6 technically.
yeah, Nariel will go. We'll take the druid.
Who needs a tank?
Zach. Oh, right. We don't have a tank. Oh. Yeah, no.
You don't
This
need-
is
you don't
suddenly
have-
went from like just being fun.
What?
No, we're
Whatever
saying-
happened?
Ooh, we can call our group tanks, but no tanks.
You heard it here first. Right here on Take 20's
I
Our
play
D&D
Overwatch
game.
competitive. Never get a single tank, but 6 attackers. Why not?
Well, if you just DPS everything down, you don't have to tank it.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Let's do this.
We don't even get like a Lucio or anything to heal. Like we have no heals during the entire thing other than Soldier putting down his healing pod.
That's what we're doing. Yeah, Nariel's going. I like this tanks, but no tanks.
I got DPS.
Very good.
Got heals.
I'm Genji.
So we got a cleric. Will you take up this adventure for me, Mr. Buckley?
I will on one condition. Before we leave, I need to find a mask.
Bonos might have what you're looking for.
It's not cheap.
We have to sell this stuff anyway.
Bonos, if you have anything of magical, go to see Bonos. Right, Rangrim?
Right. Bonos is a good contact of ours.
He has a little magic shop right here in Waterdeep.
Cool.
And he does
Maybe
well.
Bonus will.
We can sell our loot, and you can buy something with the money.
I just want my ferret mask back. Had a little feather and it was very nice. And
It sounds quite amazing, Mr. Buckley, but
it let me change into people. It was a mask of disguise, my dude.
very good.
I miss it.
But I tell you this.
Also miss Shot Swad.
The information I need is to find out what this Cult of the Dragon is up to.
Dragons?
Yes. And you don't have a clue, Quill.
No, but you said dragons, and I have a book. I know everything there is to know about dragons.
Do you?
I do.
And he cocks his head, and when he does this, he looks at you. He looks at you like this.
Brent
He goes,
Buckley and Brandgrim are laughing their heads.
so, do you now? And his voice gets really. It goes from yes, do you to yes, do you
Can
now?
I make a perception check to see if I know where he's going?
Do a perception check.
This dice
We've been
sucks.
rolling terribly this tonight.
I got a 12 still.
You do notice the iris in his eye. As his eye changes, it goes from like a humanoid elvish eye. You see it changing. It gets a little bit bigger, but the iris goes up, right, and down.
It says in the book that dragons can turn into people.
And he smiles, and you see the slightest bang. I suggest you keep it to yourself, young lady.
She's like almost hopping up and down. And
Brent Buckley just
I
whispers
need
around.
you to roll
It's like
a
working
saving
child
throw.
opening Christmas present.
Charisma.
I have advantage.
Or would it be
On
like
charisma
a
saving
Toro
throws.
person?
That's a 7. That's an 18.
Torm miss.
19.
For a moment, Quill is absolutely frightened out of her wits. Just for a moment, her heart stops in her chest because she knows, and it goes from that absolute fear to this absolute awe, like not fearful awe, but this I'm amazed awe, because you know you're in the presence of something greater than just the high elf that sits before you.
So does it hurt to be all tucked into one tiny little body?
Another time, my dear. Another time. Not today. Will you take up this adventure?
Oh, absolutely.
Very good, my dear. And I wish to
Can
thank
I have
you.
that book on the portals?
I
Still
will
think
see-
humans are the most interesting creature?
I will see if Rangrim can find it. You don't know anything about it. Very good. And his voice changes back just like that. Very good.
I'm just like, awesome.
I expect Mr. Tallowleaf to be joining us sometime in the future.
Tallowleaf? Miss him. How's he doing?
He's very well.
That's good. Good to hear.
Who's towel?
I'll tell you later.
Is he another dragon?
Will there be just these three, or will there be another?
Well, I was hoping to hire Pluto Nash again. He seems like he'd make a good.
As you're telling him this,
Cannon fodder.
Pluto Nash, you're sitting in a Pluto Nash, you're sitting in a greasy, dirty little spoon cafe